all-time win list, 102 Grand Prix victories.
Jeffrey Herlings was on a different level.
You know, I won the championship in style. Been having a tough 7-8 months, but we made it through. Paid off with a win.
And Jeffrey Herlings takes his first ever MX2 race victory. Heads towards the finish line. Crowd going absolutely nuts as well for Jeffrey Herlings.
GP win is a GP win, and it's never easy. You know, those guys are fast. Dominated both motos. That's all we wanted. So it's 6 in a row right now. I never could do it without Red Bull KTM race team. They worked so hard for me, and glad to have won this first opening round. To finish off with a win means a lot to me. It's my last race on 250, so now got to step it up to the 450 class.
Jeffrey Herlings on his way to winning 4 consecutive Grand Prix victories. This is Moto number 1, but look who it is, 111, much to the delight of the partisan Dutch crowd here under the Tecker Bridge. It's the
To be honest, I didn't expect such a great start of the 2010 season when it was my first. To come out the first race already, I think I finished 4th. Second race, finished 3rd on the podium. Came over the finish line puking and basically lost the moto win in the last turn, or the last 2 turns, I believe, to Marvin Musquin.
With Marvin Musquin, and the 2 lines almost touch, and the riders almost clashing, banging bars there through that over the camelback.
We have such a strong start to that season. Nobody expected that. I was a rookie. Nobody expected anything.
It's the first time Jeffrey Herlings has raced his home Grand Prix.
You know, to come out and be so pretty good actually at such a young age was something that nobody expected.
And Jeffrey Herlings takes his first ever MX2 race victory at just 15 and a half years old.
It was difficult to be in a factory team at age 15 and to get mature throughout your entire career, because I'm almost 30 right now. The half of my entire life I've been working for the same brand and for the same manufacturer and working with more or less a lot of the same people. So you're really being watched there because you're the guy winning championships, you're the guy winning GPs, and everyone is watching you, and then you actually need to get mature with all the pressure on you and the media on you. It's not easy to grow up under all that pressure. Yeah, definitely went from 0 to 100. I mean, in 2008, I was just a Dutch kid trying to make a name for himself.
About 1 hour from here, so it's a home GP, and hope to do good. You know, it's very important GP to me.
And in 2010, I was the new kid on the block winning GPs, and I got a phone call from probably almost all the manufacturers that they wanted to have me. I don't see anyone coming up now being 15 years old, barely 15 years old, and winning GPs. I did it, Ken Roxon did it. I think Prado was 15 or 16, he did it. There's been just a very few who were able to accomplish that at such a young age. 2 years before that, I was coming to watch Europe in 2008, and also the years before, and I'm walking through the paddock and seeing all those big brands. You're like, one day I want to be racing for them, and then less than 1.5 years later, you're racing for them and you're actually already winning the event. In such a short notice, how quick it went, it was pretty amazing. And something I couldn't expect, couldn't dream of, but it did happen and it got reality, and yeah, the rest is history. The bikes has changed a lot throughout 2010 to 2016. From my first year in MX2 and the factory team till last year. We all started with a Kickstarter and we still had a heating starter, so things have changed. Like on 2016 you got an electric starter, the bike developed. I think we gained like 4 or 5 horsepower in that 6 years or 7 years I was on the MX2 bike. A lot of things developed. We got a fuel injection at one point. So every year we made small steps forward, keep gaining ground.
MX2 race 1, round 3 of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. The Grand Prix of the Netherlands and Belgium was Herlings pursued and eventually found a way past Max Anstey on lap 6 and then challenged his team.
I think the special thing about Volkswagen was the home feeling. I lost once there. I think I was second to 2017. All the other races when I raced there and which I attended, I won. Valkenswaard was, I think, I have the most wins ever there. So yeah, it's been a good track for me, and like I said, I was close, had the home feeling and the home crowd behind me, and I think that helped me to push me to all those wins. For me, the meaning of the MX2 victories or the meaning of the MXGP victories are pretty equal. Yeah, definitely the MXGP victories are ranked higher. Still, I mean, they're all hard-fought ones. There were years when I won easy, either an MXGP and an MX2. I mean, when you look back at 2013, 2016, I think I've only lost maybe 1 or 2 races. And I think in 2013 I won all of them where I raced, and 2016 I just lost 1 of them. Yeah, I did win a lot in those years, but also in 2018 racing in MXGP class. I've won 17 out of the 19 MXGP races, so all of them are hard fought, and for me they're all equal. To be the most dominant 250 rider and the most successful Dutch rider is a huge thing. I've broken some records already through the past now, and I'm leading the moto wins. I'm very close to the all-time GP wins. I'm 1 behind Stefan Everts at the time of speaking, and you know, being the best Dutch rider ever in history with all the accomplishments I've done. I would suggest that 2018 was my best season so far. I was so dominant in the MXGP class. I think it's not been shown in history. Yeah, I might have changed the sport a bit there because I was living like a monk, training like crazy every single day, three sessions a day minimum. Yeah, that gained the sport to the next level, I think. It was hard to say when I really started realizing about the 100 wins, if it would be possible or not. But the 100, that's something special in my career. My dream was always to be the most successful rider, and due to the injuries I've had, I'll never reach the 10 world titles. I already have the ranked 3rd one, let's say, of the most moto wins, and GP wins I'm close, and that's my goal to beat the 101 and to go above it. You know, Stefan Everts is the legend. He had all of the records at some point. As a mentor, that's how we started in 2010 when he was a team manager for KTM. Now he's kind of one of my victims to try to pass. That's my goal, to beat him. 2021 didn't come easy at all. I mean, I got landed on at the Dutch GP. I think it was 3rd or the 4th race of the season.
Jeffrey Herlings wins race 1, doesn't even celebrate, that left arm glued to the left side of the handlebar.
Put me on the sideline for the next moto and put me on the sideline for the next race. That was 75 points for grab, which I wasn't able to take. It's definitely hard to ignore the pain. You want to focus on your racing, but it's something holding you back, you know, because you're in so much pain. I've been through that situation already multiple times, as in I broke a femur in 2014. Coming back from different kind of injuries, but always managed my way to fought through them. Sometimes they went wrong because it turned out in an even bigger injury. Yeah, it's never nice to be behind the start gate and knowing you'll be in pain and you'll be injured. Definitely I'd hoped to ride. I knew it was very unrealistic. From the moment I got landed on to Lommel was, I believe it was just 2 weeks of time. It was a very short notice, and the doctor said it was going to be very difficult. Actually, it all happened when Geiser crashed in Lockheed. At that point, I mean, he was already leading, and then he was again fighting for a moto win. I was like, oh, he'd be gone. And then he crashed. And then he lost a lot of points. I was like, okay, I need to race on Lommel. Don't know how I'm going to do it, but I need to do it. I got back in the championship and had to really fight my way back up. Had a good crash with Prado, hurt my knee, had some ups and downs in the end. Then had a huge crash with 2 or 3 races to go. It even started to look difficult, the championship, but we still managed to pull it off. But I had a lot of ups and downs, and it was a tough and difficult season. To push ourselves to the limit in the last moto of the year, we know that had to happen because we were equal on points with Fairway, so whoever finished in front of each other would win that championship. I had no other option as to send it. I managed to pass him. After a few laps, he looped out. That was actually the championship crash. After that, I could just cruise around and obviously win the championship. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on that last moto, yeah. Don't want to be cocky to say, but I think it's been the most dominant KTM rider they ever had. I mean, yeah, Tony Caroli has won 1 more championship, I believe, on a KTM, but no one has ever won that many motos on a KTM or GP wins or podiums. So I think that's also something special between me and the brand, and wins and podiums ahead of us. But yeah, there's not many riders who can say that they won so much on one and the same brand.
102 Grand Prix victories for the Bullet, Jeffrey Herlings on Red Bull KTM.